एवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरदुषे नमः नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गौ ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्विताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। प्रभुपाद की जय हो। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद की जय। ओवर टू समता माता जी।
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Today we are doing this song Natvar Nagarananda. Jai Shri Prabhupada. नटवर नागरे नंदा भजोरे मन गोविंदा
नटवर नागर नंदा भजोरे मन गोविंदा
नटवर नागरे नंदा भजोरे मन गोविंदा
नटवर नागर नंदा भजोरे मन गोविंदा
श्याम सुंदर मुख चंदा 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 भजोरे मन गोविंदा
तू ही नटवर तू ही नागर
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 तू ही बाल मुकुंदा भजोरे मन गोविंदा
तू ही बाल मुकुंदा भजोरे मन गोविंदा
नटवर
नटवर नागर
नागर
नंदा,
नंदा, भजो रे
भजो रे मन
मन
गोविंदा।
गोविंदा।
श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर मुख
सुंदर मुख चंदा,
चंदा,
भजो
भजो रे मन
मन
गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। सब सब देवन में कृष्ण बड़े हैं,
सब देवन में कृष्ण बड़े हैं।
सब देवन में कृष्ण बड़े हैं।
सब देवन में कृष्ण बड़े हैं।
जूतारन बिच चंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
जूतारन बिच चंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
नटवर
नटवर नागर नंदा,
नंदा, भजो रे
भजो
मन
रे मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा।
श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर
सुंदर मुख चंदा, भजो रे
भजो रे
मन
मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। सब सखियन में राधा जी बड़ी है,
सब सखियन में राधा जी बड़ी है।
सब सखियन में राधा जी बड़ी है।
सब सखियन में राधा जी बड़ी है।
क्यों नदियन बीच गंगा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
जू नदियन बीच गंगा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर
नटवर
नागर
नागर नंदा,
नंदा, भजो रे
भजो
मन
रे मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर
सुंदर मुख चंदा,
चंदा, भजो रे
भजो
मन
रे मन
गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। ध्रुव तारे प्रहलाद उबारे,
ध्रुव तारे प्रहलाद उबारे।
ध्रुव तारे प्रहलाद उबारे।
ध्रुव तारे प्रहलाद उबारे।
नरसिंह रूप धरंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
नरसिंह रूप धरंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर
नटवर
नागर
नागर नंदा,
नंदा,
भजो
भजो रे मन
रे मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर
सुंदर मुख
नंदा,
चंदा, भजो रे
भजो रे
मन
मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। काली देह में नाग जो नाथो,
काली देह में नाग जो नाथो।
काली देह में नाग जो नाथो।
काली देह में नाग जो नाथो।
फण फण निरत करंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
फण फण निरत करंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
नटवर
नटवर नागर
नागर
नंदा,
नंदा, भजो रे
भजो
मन
रे मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर
सुंदर
मुख
चंदा,
चंदा, भजो रे
भजो रे
मन
मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। वृंदावन में रास रचायो,
वृंदावन में रास रचायो।
वृंदावन में रास रचायो।
वृंदावन में रास रचायो।
नाचत बाल मुकुंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
नाचत बाल मुकुंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
नटवर
नटवर नागर
नागर
नंदा,
नंदा, भजो
भजो
रे
रे मन
मन
गोविंदा।
गोविंदा।
श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर मुख
सुंदर मुख चंदा,
चंदा, भजो रे
भजो
मन
रे मन
गोविंदा।
गोविंदा। मीरा के प्रभु गिरिवर गिरधर नागर,
मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर।
मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर।
मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर।
काटो जम का फंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
काटो जन्म का फंदा, भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर
नटवर
नागर
नागर नंदा,
हरे नंदा,
भजो
भजो रे
भजो
मन
रे मन
गोविंदा।
गोविंदा।
श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर
सुंदर
मुख
मुख चंदा,
चंदा,
भजो
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 रे
रे
मन
मंदा।
गोविंदा। नटवर
नटवर
नागर
नंदा, भजो रे
नंदा,
मन
भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
गोविंदा।
श्याम
श्याम
सुंदर
सुंदर
मुख
मुख चंदा, भजो
चंदा,
रे
भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
गोविंद। हरे कृष्णा,
हरे
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा
कृष्णा,
हरे हरे, हरे राम,
हरे राम, हरे राम,
राम
राम
राम,
राम, हरे
हरे
हरे।
हरे।
हरे कृष्णा, हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा,
कृष्णा कृष्णा,
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे
हरे
हरे, हरे राम, हरे
हरे
राम, राम राम,
राम
हरे।
राम, हरे हरे।
हरे
जय
कृष्णा।
प्रभुपाद की जय हो।
जय।
मेरा
थैंक यू माता जी।
भक्तिमती मीरामती बाइनी जय हो। थैंक यू प्रभु जी फॉर सो वंडरफुल सेवा। थैंक यू माता
Amazing,
जी।
थैंक यू,
Mataji. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद।
Very sweet Kirtan, Prataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, then Pranam Prabhuji's Nandajis. Hare Krishna, Acharya Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Sadat Prabhuji. Dhanot Pranam. Luminance again. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदाङ्कितं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमलोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये। नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गोब्राह्मण्यहिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम। प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण। Absolutely, I don't have any qualification. Forget about studying the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. I don't have qualification to touch those shastras. I am such a most fallen soul on this planet. It is just the mercy of Gurus. The was able to touch them, was able to study them. I was able to just repeat, okay, whatever is there in the shastras. Absolutely, I don't have any qualification. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Today I am doing a recap and also doing the session on lesson 162. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. I think my issue is fixed. So if you're okay, I can do the recap now. I had some
You will
issue.
do, Prabhu? Okay, Prabhu.
Yes,
Go ahead,
yes.
Prabhu.
If I get disconnected, then please take it up from there.
No problem.
So
We'll cover.
just
Okay.
one
Go ahead,
minute.
Prabhu. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. 1 minute, Prabhu. I will share my screen. Just give me 1 minute. Yes. Okay. Yes. So on Friday, Hare Krishna Hero, and my respectful obeisances. Please, thank you for the opportunity. So, wonderful lesson by Prasad Prabhu on Friday. That was lesson 161 of these 3 chapters. This is teachings of Hamsa Gita. So, this lesson 161 is verses 1 to 14, the first section of this chapter, which is of 42 verses. So this describes how the human, overwhelmed by sense gratification, become conditioned by the 3 modes of the nature, and how can we renounce these modes. Right? So that is the main theme. The theme talks about the modes of the material nature and what are the options and possibilities and how can we overcome those. Right. So I will start here. Because of the depth of the chapter, it is broken. Prabhuji has nicely broken into the
Prabhu,
3
your voice
sections.
is little low, Prabhu. You may adjust your microphone. Little low.
Hare Krishna. Is it better?
No, I think
No
I'm
better.
able to hear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no better. No better.
1 minute. I will also try to check. It is fixed now. Yes. Yes. Sorry about that. Okay. So the way Prabhuji has arranged and Prasad Prabhu did it nicely for us is there are several themes here, the chapter abstract themes, and then the rational and philosophical significance. So we'll try our best to cover and rehash before Prasad Prabhu goes to the next one. So here, the first theme is the 3 modes of the nature, right? So my first question is here, we first have to understand this knowledge and then apply do the practical application, right? So the question here is, if these modes they are actually part of material intelligence, they are not part of the they do not belong to the spirit soul. We are actually the spirit soul, but these modes they belong to the material part. So how do they and why do they define our identity?
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
This is a really nice subject, body mind complex. Charu Prabhuji always talks about where it impacts.
Yeah.
Does it soul impacts out the body? Material nature primarily impact body, but soul also comes under the influence. So very nicely, how it the impact, because it impacts the intelligence of a person, mind and intelligence, primarily intelligence. So that's what he views. It is impacting him more, and he acts as per that.
Correct. That's because one is as you rightly said, there is a false identification that causes, right? And then
Krishna
yes,
Prabhuji,
Mataji. Yes, Dipti Mataji.
unless we go beyond these gunas, Sattva, Raja, and Tama, and achieve the Suddha Sattva state. We cannot go to Bhakti platform. And that's why that is how it affects our identity.
Correct.
I don't think that's right. Actually, it is the bhakti platform that allows you to transgress these modes, Am I correct or not?
Yes,
That's
yes,
correct.
Prabhu.
Yes,
That's correct. That is what actually we discussed.
So, Dipti Mataji, you need to correct your statement, okay?
Yes,
For
Prabhuji.
understanding.
Right. So what you're saying, Char Prabhu, is as we perform bhakti, then we transition from the current modes to the
Raksha
Suddha Sattva.
Mataji, is there is a particular verse in Bhagavad Gita? Mayam etam tarantite.
Devi
Anybody
Esha
recall?
Gunamayi Maya Metam Taranti. Yes,
So
yes,
that
Mama
tells
Prabhuji.
you
Maya.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that
Mama
verse
Maya
tells you.
Duratmaya.
So that verse tells you bhakti one must perform, and only through bhakti you can really abolish the influence of the three modes of material nature. Haribol, continue, Prabhuji.
Got it. Got it. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for correcting
तो
that.
उनकी शरण लेनी पड़ेगी तभी माया का हम पार पार निकल
So,
पाएंगे.
yeah, I think that verse says that how difficult the material nature is, and by taking the shelter of the Lord, we can transgress. This, what Dipti Mataji suggests, is a transition from Sattva to Shuddha Sattva. So it is not like by going to Shuddha Sattva we get Bhakti. It is by doing Bhakti we get to Shuddha Sattva. That is the point here.
Correct.
Right? Yes, now I get it. Thank you, Prabhuji. And then, like we discussed in the class, can Sattva Gun become a limitation to the path of transcendence?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. How is that?
Because again Bhagavad Gita 13 or 14, like it talks about sattva also conditions you by getting
Yes.
complex and being happy, eye on knowledge, and if there's no further motivation, one can relax there itself, right? So it
Yeah.
can do that.
You can do that. You can become attached to the mode.
Attached to-
Mode. That's true. So we have to go beyond that as well. But that is far off for me, at least. First to get to Sattva is a point. Okay. So back to this.
Prabhuji, so
Yes, Mataji.
of all the three chains, the Sattva Guna is the golden chain, but ultimately it's a chain only.
Yes.
So till the time one gets rid of all the chains.
The other reason is that the Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, and Tamoda, even if you're in material mode of goodness, that can degrade into the lower modes. So all the three modes are constantly in flux unless you reach to the Suddha Sattva Guna.
And that brings back to this point, which I was highlighting, what Prabhuji mentioned also about the material intelligence, which is the part of this, which is the, this is the material intelligence. And first thing starts with recognition. So by recognizing their influence, we can then strive towards the higher state of being and aspire to transcend these limitations imposed by the mode of existence, right? So that is what we discussed. And all the recognizing, before recognizing, important is hearing. So that is, we thankful to Prabhu for providing this platform where we constantly hear and then meditate throughout, right? So then,
Here meditate. The crux of the whole, as we'll go here meditate and discriminate. I think that was the one message was echoed paper yesterday, right?
yes, yes, absolutely.
Discriminate,
Prabhu.
yeah.
Absolutely, Prabhu. Yes. Okay, and then the next theme here was renunciation of material mode. So as probably you said here, discriminate, meditate, and then renounce. Okay, so this is the key point here, conscious effort. Okay, so I will not ask the question, we'll go to next because there's a lot to cover. So conscious effort in overcoming and controlling this. So then the next is discrimination and detachment. So again, here meditate, contemplate, discriminate, and detach. So how does discriminating mindset help us? Here's the question. How does we say discrimination? So how will the discriminating
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
There is a
Rajkumar
direct
Mataji.
relationship between discrimination and detachment. By discrimination, the discrimination between self and the material body. When the person individuals comes to know that difference, then he is naturally his attachment towards the material desires, sense gratification becomes lower and lower. So
It fosters spiritual and leads to liberation from suffering.
yeah,
Correct.
and
Correct.
ultimately the spiritualism increases. There is and we can say that devotion towards God increases.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
We have to
Ultimatum,
control
Means
our
God.
sensory desire and sense gratification.
correct. Yes. Yes. Simply
Our
Mataji.
goal of life is more clear then.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
In one
Yes,
simple word, we make the conscious choices,
conscious.
Babaji. Yeah. Conscious
Wow.
choices we take. So by discriminating, that is
So
also a
wonderful.
point we discussed on Friday.
Yeah, so wonderful thoughts. I just want to add my personal anecdote or thought here. In our IT world these days, I think Prashad Prabhu and some of you know, there is this sign of infinity. We call it DevOps. So there is a continuous change. So this also here continues, you realize, practice, spiritual increase. Then again, that makes you more realize, more so. If we just stay connected to the current, then we will go. So that's all we have to try. Continuing, role of devotional service is the next theme. I think that you all already covered. The position the devotional service is the highest form of engagement, right? And that provides direct path to realizing one's nature and purpose, right? So that is the importance. It provides us a direct path. The other path are too cumbersome, onerous, time consuming. Here it is a direct path. Now, what else is the benefit? What else is the benefit of devotional service? Direct devotional service? Here, if you can think
Direct
from
personal connection with the Lord.
mm, that we don't have Mataji, but there is something we get, right? What do we get from the Lord?
Self-realization.
repeat
Self-realization.
the question, please.
Realization and
Bhakti, we get bhakti from it.
This is my personal
We
question.
feel the bliss, Anand.
Yes. No. Bliss and Anand is the result.
Anandmaya Abhyasa. Yes, Prabhuji.
That is the result. But before that, we get something.
we get self-realization, we realize our true
Mercy,
nature.
mercy, we
purpose.
get mercy.
Yes, Mataji, Harsha Mataji, that is the word I am looking for. Yes, bliss, Anand, self-realization, that all is the fruit. But prior to that, when we connect with the Lord through this path of devotion service to Himself and more to His devotee, we get more mercy, and through mercy we get that fruit. That is my understanding. Okay, so that was out of syllabus question. Sorry for that. We'll go next.
Correct understanding.
Yes.
That's the right idea.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. So my younger one's exams are going on, so I am helping him understand. So when I ask him question out of syllabus, he is very quickly, oh, this is out of syllabus. Don't ask me this. So you can chastise me. Okay.
He's a
Awareness of
smart kid.
oh, he's very naughty.
But
That's why.
Prabhuji, in our spiritual exam, always the out of question is more welcome.
Thank you, Mataji. Awareness of suffering and misery, right? So here, our condition here is so how do these three modes dynamically interact, right? And do they help us in any way to shape our inner conflict, our inner growth? Do they help us, or do
Yes, they
they?
help us. They
Yes.
yes, we can transcend them to our spiritual journey. Passion
Mm,
and ignorance. We can get knowledge first, and then
mm.
we can use it back for our spiritual progress.
Mataji, elaborate a bit more. How do they help us? Because we are suffering here. We are aware of the
Yeah,
suffering and misery.
yeah, because when individuals understand the actions as per their modes of how they reflect our
Mm,
spiritual growth, we
mm,
can specify, make them use like our hands, and we do our pratna, And
Yes.
our tongue, we do the God's name. We take chanting. We do the chanting. That is
Yes.
how we do in bhakti. In bhakti, we can utilize that, and that will definitely come our shortcomings and desires.
Correct.
We should
This
be
point,
very, very mindful. Mindfulness. With mindfulness, we have to see that we are in which mode. We have to constant introspect ourselves. Then we can improve ourselves.
this point,
When we have to correct ourselves.
Mm.
this point was explained very nicely by Prasad Puru, how they fluctuate, right? So it is not that what we think, it is the mode how they influence us. So I think that was little bit of a change that we understood mind, right? So ultimately everything is going through the mind, reflected through the mind. How the modes in the morning, one mode is there, second afternoon or daytime, another, the night, third modes are there. So mode do in fact. So how to see that mode? Mode is in a work and not our soul, right? So somewhere discrimination again plays, but mode does the work. So that
Yes.
can channelize what needs to be done.
Mm.
Use that
Mm.
modes and do. We can talk a lot
Correct.
about that, but that is
Mm.
what he used that word. Mode fluctuate doesn't remain the same, right?
Yes. Yes. It keeps on
Cycling.
fluctuating. And uh, as I am hearing a lot about astrology these
Correct.
days, my wife is studying and all.
Hare
But
Krishna Prabhuji, one
yes,
more
Mataji.
point.
Yes. Yes. Please. Shri.
The individual, though the individual know, he's aware out of the suffering and miseries, but due to some these attraction, gratification, sense gratification, he can't control. When on this the three modes, sattva, raj, and tam, affect a lot. If the person is in tamogun, and he is awakened, then tries to go to the rajogun, and if rajogun, then he tries to go to the mode satogun, and in this way. But it is only when the person is awakened. In tamogun, the person is not awakened. Only in the satogun, the persons may know, and he can control up to some limit his sense gratification, and he may get spiritual development, and in this way he may go rise up to the high level.
बहन जी प्रभु जी के पास बहुत लिमिटेड टाइम है
Yes.
so you have to really give a concise answer, okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. That's good. Thank you, Prabhu. So, key summary here is being aware of this. The other point, what I was trying to get through is how do these mode help is through continuous recognition that we are in a place which is Dukkhale Mashaswatam. Then, when we realize that, then we start acting on it. And we can see that in today's world, so risky it is, right? Padam padam jalavipadam. So we can see the Shastra Chakshu that's coming live everywhere, no matter where you may be. Like anytime things can be taken away or they can go topsy-turvy. So this is a great treasure we have. Okay, moving on. Now we will see these same themes uh, through the BBT text and purport, right? So now the question here is, I think we covered a lot of this already. Recognition we covered, and then uh, each mode exists. We discussed all of this, so I will skip this slide, and then we don't have time also. Then the next theme here is about cultivation of Sattva. Okay, so here it is described as cultivation of Sattva is active discipline rather than a passive state. So why is Prabhuji mentioning here that it is active discipline and not a passive state? Can someone think through and tell me? The question is cultivating mode of goodness is active discipline. What does that mean?
I think Prabhuji talked about religion and right. He talked about religion. I think one more was there. I just missing. So throughout that, one needs to take basically a decision where we are, right? So understand the mode, what is acting upon us, right? And they are in the play, and by understanding that, understand your eternal nature. So both are mixed anyway. When you come to that understanding,
Correct, Prabhu.
that you can help. Yes.
If I can, fix it.
Practically,
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
practically, he suggested that one should choose, for partaking, one should choose prasadam. For
Correct.
service, one should do community service, and for reading and mental, studying, one should choose the Vedic, the spiritual texts like Bhagavad Gita.
Exactly.
That will reform
Yes.
our thinking, and continuously being in this kind of discipline will help increase sattva guna, and then continuously being in sattva guna will help us transcend sattva guna also,
Thank
to
you,
come to the
Mataji.
state of
Yes, you
Shuddha Sattva.
summarize it nicely, very nicely. So thank you both, Prabhuji and Mataji.
We have
The
to
key,
we have to
yes,
follow the ethical guidelines very
Guideline.
strictly.
That's what I was going to say.
and that was the
And
key
consuming
word.
nourishing foods and all. And
Yes, Mataji.
and we have to get surrounded by devotees, which will give us positive values.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes, that's a association. So key thing what Prabhuji thought, if we summarize in one word, it has to be a active engagement, right? By doing all this, following the regulative principle, doing what is recommended as mentioned, and avoiding what is. So both we have to do. Okay. Then next, now slide 7, continuing here. There is Prabhuji also explained the difference between the genuine devotion and ritualistic religiosity. Right? So we should not confuse between them, and we have to understand the difference between them. Like the religiosity, general, like ritualistic religiosity, as Prabhuji explained, is that dharma, artha, kam, moksha. There is less about religion, more about myself. But the pure devotional service, it gears or goal toward Krishna first and me serving the Lord. Okay, so let's move on because I have 4 more slides to cover and just 5 more minutes. Right, so let's see how much I can do. But thank you. This is great. This is a lot of learning here. Then the next slide here. Here the question is, why do we continue seeking? Like, why do we continue seeking pleasure in this material world, despite knowing this is dukhalayam ashashvata, right? And what are several analogies we can Prabhuji shared, which can help us understand this human ignorance. Any thoughts?
Desire, Prabhuji, I mean desire and not awakening due to two
We
reasons.
get we get influenced by our senses. It is to satisfy, to get sense gratification. Basically, we get into this pleasure-seeking world continues, because a human being, the soul needs pleasure. So the instant pleasure one gets from sense gratification. So hence, it is constantly trapped into this thing of fulfilling the desires of the senses. So hence, it gets trapped.
That's
Yeah.
because yes, Prabhu.
No, but
Please,
that's only sense gratification, right? Enjoying the pleasure. That traps us into this material, despite knowledge, despite all these things that we have. It's not that Prabhuji gave a lot of examples of that, lot of knowledge we have, but when it comes to that, it drags only towards the sense of pleasure. And as Mata said, that's easy and gives the relishment. So we have been trapped because of that character.
It's the avidya or association with the body. That's why we thinking this is the body, and that's what makes us this. I think we
At
discussed
that
again.
time, the mode of material nature affects more and more. So we, in spite of knowing all these things, still we are performing, still we are engaging in the sense gratification also.
Yeah.
Because the modes are so powerful. because it is
Modes are
very
so powerful.
modes are so powerful. It is not easy to overcome.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Let's go to the next slide, slide 9 now. Here, again, there is a mention of the mind, right? So now, I will ask that question from Bhagavad Gita. Is mind an enemy or is mind our friend? What do you guys think?
Both.
And the verse?
Yes, Prabhuji, 6 चैप्टर का है, वो मुझे मालूम नहीं है अभी, मगर है.
Minus negative mark. Sorry, Mataji. That's Mataji
No
को याद रहना
प्रभुजी,
चाहिए.
मुझे इतना आता नहीं है, इतने श्लोक आते नहीं है, मगर आप मुझे ऐसा मत समझे, मुझे बहुत आता नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, कभी कभी हो जाता है.
मेरे को तो याद भी नहीं है, but yeah, that is what. So the mind can be the
नहीं प्रभुजी,
enemy.
मगर जब मन हमें जो चाहिए वो करने देता है, तब वो हमारा फ्रेंड है. जैसे कि अगर हम ये पढ़ रहे हैं श्रीमद् भागवतम, तो अगर माइंड बोल देता है कि नहीं करना है, ये सब बेकार है, ये सब क्या करता है, तो एंजॉय करना है, ये करना है, अगर वो, तो फिर अगर हम उसके हिसाब से चलेंगे तो वो हमारा एनिमी है.
Correct. Thank you, Bhakti. So I will just read this quickly and we go to next slide. So described as a formidable force. So mind is a formidable and strong force. Krishna is the mind among the senses. The mind can either elevate one's being or ensnare them in limitation depending on the direction. So we have to take care that we take it in the right direction. Slide 10. Let's go to the next slide. This slide talks about association. I think we already discussed a lot about association, but in short, association also influences our spiritual trajectory. So we are who we associate with. So as already discussed, we should take care to associate with the devotees, take direction from them, even if we have trouble, because all may be different, but we should take care to associate with them. Okay, slide 11. The next is, this slide describes about the Prabhuji walked us through the transcendental knowledge or Divya Gyan, right? So, like, what is the impact of Divya Gyan or transcendental knowledge on us? Again, as we discuss, through this we come to know our real state and then take a path. Then this slide 13. We are back to these are now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on the 3 modes of the material nature. A lot of this has been covered already. So I will skip this and then we'll go to next. This is on cultivation of Sattva Guna, right? Yeah, so here, as Prabhuji explained, that it is, and he mentions here, it is a transformative journey, right? It is not happening in a day or so, but we have to actively work through all the things we discuss, and then it's a transformative journey. Right? And then the next slide, slide 15. I think this is the second last, yeah. So dharma and like what are the religious principle and dharma. So let's discuss this a minute. So can the true dharma, first, let me put it this way. Is there a difference between the dharma which we hear from Vedic and the dharma which Srimad Bhagavatam talks about? Or let me put it this way, let me ask it this way. What is the dharma? What does the definition of dharma means when Srimad Bhagavatam talks about dharma? And there is a verse also, right?
Yeah,
Hare Krishna,
parodharma.
fulfillment of duties while remaining in the sattva gun mode and surrender these to Lord Krishna.
Yes, closer. That is the last point is the point. Fulfillment of duties. Duties can be very defined depending on which book you're reading, right? So here, the specific verse in Bhagavatam is, it is very clear that it speaks about, what is that? I think you said, right? Parodharma. And it
Yeah.
Tave pumsa paro dharma yatha bhaktya.
and it rejects any false or cheating dharma. There can be false dharma as well, which we have to be very
Kaitava
careful.
dharma.
Kaitava
Kaitava
dharma.
dharma.
Yeah. So it focuses purely on parodharma, which is serving the Lord and achieving that desire. So that is what is explained. Prabhuji nicely walked us through. And then last, again, here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments about the body-mind complex. So how does identifying the body and mind helps us to elevate or get away from the suffering that was discussed? Okay, so I think this was the last slide. Oh, there's one more. Yeah. Okay. This is about the illusion of the material enjoyment. I think we covered that. So I don't have specific questions from this. That's the last one. Okay, I think I'm on time, so I will stop here. And apologies for there was some
Thank you, Prabhuji.
connectivity in
Wonderful
this.
for
Sorry
recap.
about
Thank
that.
you very
Thank you,
much.
Prabhuji. Dandavat
Thanks.
pranam,
Thank you very
Prabhuji.
much. Over to you.
Nice
It's
recap,
not easy
Prabhuji.
recap,
Wonderful.
Prabhu.
Thank
We
you.
have total 20 slides.
It was
Yeah, you
very
have
quick.
completed.
It was
Yes.
very quick.
Yeah, it's
So
very
we
quick.
I
thought we are
rushed, so sorry.
we are
Yeah.
sitting for Viva.
But
Okay,
it is
over to you,
very
Krishna
nice,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. We get the essence of this PPT.
It's a wonderful PPT, Prabhu. Thank you.
Congratulations, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hope you are able to see the slides. 162.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Okay. Just give me a second. Mouse is not working properly in my laptop. I don't know why. From last 1 hour. But please bear with me. Yeah. See. As I mentioned before, I don't have any qualification, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So please bear with me. Please pardon me any mistakes. Sharat Prabhuji, Char Prabhuji, any other Prabhuji's Mataji's, please stop me if I am saying something wrong, please. Yeah. Hare Krishna. We are at the first slide. The teaching of the Hamsakita. In this section, we are going to study the teachings of Hamsakita imparted to the 4 Kumaras. Okay, they are the sons of Lord Brahma. Okay, which is born from the mind. Yeah. So the big picture, what we are saying is, we are going to see in continuation from on top of the learnings what we have. It has 2 parts. One is part 1, that is lesson 162. Yeah, that is from the slokas from 15 to 26. That we are going to see the nature of yoga and the quest for the ultimate truth. So what is this section answers for us? So what is real yoga and how should one search for the ultimate truth? And how we move from external practices to internalization. So these are some of the topics which we will see from the first section. And then part 2, which we will see in the next Friday. Okay, that is lesson 163. That is from the verses 27 to 42. That there we will see the nature and states of consciousness and soul. Yeah. So over there we will have a deep understanding on what is consciousness, how does it change, what is the nature of the soul, okay, which is Atman. So those things we will see it in 163. Hare Krishna. So let us directly jump into the next slide. Okay, slide 2. Yeah. So let us start with our themes. So the first theme which I am going to talk about is the nature of Brahma. Nature of Brahma. As mentioned here, it has 2 sections. One is the position and rule, and the second one is absence of material cause. So position and rule. Okay. So the Brahma stands as a supreme demigod, entrusted with a monumental task of creating all the living beings. Okay. This is what it is. Position and role, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So this section begins establishing who is Brahma is. Yeah. So in this cosmic hierarchy, Brahma is not an ordinary being. Yeah. He is a secondary creator of the universe, this universe. Yeah. Brahma is empowered by Supreme Lord. Brahma is empowered by the Supreme Lord to organize this creation, and populate this universe. Yeah. So his role underscores his pivotal status within the cosmic hierarchy. So this means that he holds a great authority. Prabhuji's Mataji's Brahma holds a great authority. He has a vast knowledge. He has a vast knowledge and responsibility. Yeah. So let us understand the second theme, absence of material cause. Absence of material cause. Brahma exists without any material cause. Yes or no? This is subtle but very important point for all of us. Brahma is not created in the same way as ordinary beings like you and me. He is not born from the parents. He appeared through a divine arrangement. We have to remember that. Yeah. Brahma's origin is completely transcendental, not purely material. Yeah. So this shows that his existence and function are beyond ordinary material laws. Yeah. So that is the nature of Brahma, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Yeah. So unlike the humans who take the birth from the biological process, Brahma appears to a divine manifestation from the Vishnu. Yeah. So shows that higher level of existence. Yeah. So that is the nature of Brahma. Moving to the next theme, that is theme 2, the human limitations. So let us understand what are the human limitations. So the first one is what? Agitation of the mind. Agitation of the mind. And the second theme is inability to provide answers. So even with his divine stature, okay, what we have discussed, Brahma contends with the agitation of the mind. Yeah, contents with the mental turbulence. Yeah, that is it. So now the teachings is shifting from very powerful way. Even the Brahma who is highly elevated, extremely knowledgeable, still experiences mental agitation. See the problem of the mind, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So the mind, these modes, it doesn't spare anybody. Okay, thus reveals a universal truth. The mind is a challenge for everybody, everyone, not just for humans, even for higher beings as well. Yeah. So even a highly successful leader, okay, even when you see the today's world, right, okay, you see a very highly successful persons, okay, may feel a stress, have confusion certain times, have so much of pressure. Yeah. Similarly, Brahma feels a mental turbulence due to the responsibility. Yeah. Brahma's inability, Brahma's inability to provide answers. Okay, he's not able to answer, right? So he has taken the shelter of Supreme Person of the Godhead. And then the Hamsa Avatara has taken place. Yeah. So Brahma's inability to provide answers shows the limit of individual effort. This is a key turning point. The four Kumaras ask a deep spiritual questions. Last time also we have seen those questions. How to overcome these desires, how to transcend the mind. And Brahma, despite of the greatness, cannot fully answer them. But here the interesting thing happened. Okay, this shows the intelligence alone is not enough. Intelligence alone is not enough. Okay, position alone is not good enough. Even the most relevant being has limitations when relying only on the position and individual effort. Yeah. So a very intelligent professor, if you see, he may not be able to answer everything. If you put a question something like, can you explain the subject related to what is ultimate truth? Who is a very good understanding on physics or biology? If you ask what is ultimate truth, he or she may not be able to answer. Yeah. So what are the key teachings from this particular slide? This slide sets up a very important realization. Even the power, intelligence, position cannot solve the deepest spiritual questions, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So therefore, what is that we need? We need a higher guidance. That is divine knowledge. Yeah. So if even Brahma cannot fully answer, how can we? That is the reason Brahma has taken the shelter of Supreme Person of the Godhead, the Lord. Okay. Then the Lord took the form of Hamsa, who gives the teaching of Hamsa Gita. So even the most powerful and intelligent beings have limitations. True answers comes only from the divine wisdom. Okay. So that is the quick summary of this particular slide. So in this particular slide, we understood the true nature of some, okay, Brahma, how powerful he is, and at the same time, and the limitations. Yeah. And where we have to take the shelter. Yeah. So that is what we understood. And this is slide 2. Hare Krishna. Moving to slide 3. That is theme 3, seeking the guidance. This is where the happens. This is where the exactly happens. Now, the quest for the insight. The quest for the insight by choosing the seek refuge in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahma exhibit profound humility. Yeah. See, he know that he could not answer very clearly. Immediately, what he has done, Brahma has taken the shelter of Supreme Personality of the Godhead. That is the seeking guidance. Is very important knowledge for all of us. So we have to understand what is our nature, what is our level, to understand such a higher philosophy, higher subject. To be very frank with you, not under the matter of humility, I'm telling you, Prabhuji's Mataji's, I don't have any qualification to touch such a advanced subjects of Bhagavatam. It is just the mercy of Vaishnavas and the encouragement of Char Prabhuji and Sarat Prabhuji's. Otherwise, I do not have any qualification. I do not have any qualification. It is just the mercy of Vaishnavas, Prabhuji's. Yeah. So now we see a very important shift happens. Earlier, we seen that Brahma is so powerful, Brahma is knowledge. But Brahma now became what? He became a seeker. Okay. So here we recognize that a genuine understanding emerges from we all emerges from actually from higher source. This is the key teaching. Even the most intelligent being realizes that the true knowledge does not come from oneself alone. It doesn't come from me. The real spiritual progress begins with humility and genuine inquiry, not for the question of, not for questioning for the sake of questioning. Okay, not to test the others. It's a true inquiry. It's a genuine inquiry and genuine humility. Okay, the actual real spiritual progress begins with. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So that is what is seeking guidance is very, very important. Okay. So now what happened? The next theme is the form of Lord Hamsa. Okay. What is that? The form of Lord Hamsa, the manifestation of the Supreme Lord as Lord Hamsa symbolizes the divine response to the sincere inquiry. Prabhuji Mataji, many years back I had a sincere inquiry. What is the purpose of this life? Okay. I followed different other practices, but I was not satisfied. Okay. I was not satisfied that I'm being merged into a Brahman, okay, that I will not exist, that I was not happy. So I was further inquiring Krishna or God. I didn't know that like Krishna is the supreme God that time. I was inquiring. Then one day, I got connected to ISKCON. Yeah. So if we have that true, genuine inquiry, you will get the answers. Yeah. So the form of Lord Hamsa, the manifestation of Supreme Lord Hamsa symbolizes divine response if you have a sincere inquiry. This is what exactly happened in this particular situation as well. When the inquiry is sincere, the divine response, the Krishna response. The Lord Hamsa responds to the represents the Supreme Lord, okay, appearing to guide all of us, to teach all of us, to answer all our questions. So this slide says that the sacred can take many forms to impart the wisdom. This means that God responds according to the seeker's sincerity. It's very important, Prabhuji's Matajas. The God responds according to the seeker's sincerity. That's sincerity is very important for all of us. Yeah. So a sincere seekers may receive a guidance through a Siksha Guru, through a Diksha Guru, through scriptures, through divine inspiration, by divine association of Vaishnavas. Yeah. So this is like a Lord Hamsa response to Brahma. Okay. So we should be always seeking the guidance. Yeah. So from the Guru, from Vaishnavas, from Lord Krishna. Yeah. So now with that, I'm moving to the next theme, theme 4, the theme of divine connection. The theme of divine connection. So let us understand this. The first theme, interdependence of deities and supreme. This is very important philosophical point. Even the Brahma, who is more powerful, even a secondary creator, still depends upon the Supreme Lord, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So what is our level? Let us understand. What is our level? So whatever Shastra we are reading, no, whatever we are doing is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no, there is no doubt in that. It is the mercy of Krishna. Krishna is showering so much mercy on all of us. We have to take the full advantage of this and learn as much as possible and implement that from Monday to Friday through our japa, through our Mangalharti. Okay, and again sharing this knowledge. That is what we have to do. Yeah, even the most exalted beings rely on the Supreme Lord for clarity and direction. So no one is independent, Prabhuji's Mataji's. No one is independent. We are not independent. We are all dependent on our Siksha Gurus, Diksha Gurus, and senior Vaishnavas. And then ultimately taking the shelter of divine couple. Everyone is ultimately depending upon Supreme. Hare Krishna. That is what is this theme is talking about. Let's move to the next theme. That is spiritual entitlement. Spiritual entitlement. Okay, the wonderful theme. So genuine entitlement, genuine enlightenment comes through connection with the divine. The genuine enlightenment comes through connection with the divine, connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the conclusion of this particular section. This is what is this particular section is talking about. The teaching is, no matter how intelligent we are, we cannot overcome our desires. We cannot overcome our confusion. We cannot overcome our material struggles without connection with the divine. Even last Friday, 2 weeks back, just 2 days back also we realized. We are always under the trap of mind. Why? Our connection with the divine is very feeble, very, very weak. Yes or no? So once we have the strong connection, everything will establish. So how do you establish that particular strong connection? Through devotional practices. That is, start with japa. Yeah. The slide clearly says that it is encourages individual to seek spiritual teachings and guidance. This means that we need guidance. We all need higher knowledge and we all need divine connection. Yes or no? So a person is trying to control the mind, alone struggles. But when we chant very sincerely. We participate in kirtan. We pray sincerely. We seek guidance and we experience the clarity, Prabhuji. And ultimately, what is that we get? We get peace. So what is that we are learning from these themes? So self-resilience, okay, the slide is shifted from the self-reliance to divine reliance. So from the self-reliance, you have to move to divine reliance. At the same time, you have to put our own efforts, Prabhuji's Mataji. We should not be give up everything. Krishna, only you take care. But you have to do our own sadhana. We have to put efforts. And we have to show to Krishna saying that how sincerely we are putting our sadhana. Yeah. So true understanding comes when we see guidance from the higher source. Yeah. So what is it we learned from the previous slide 2? Brahma's limitation. That is what we have seen from the previous slide. In this slide 3, Brahma seeking guidance. That is a connection. Yeah. So there is a natural progression. Yeah. So limitation, we have to observe our limitation and then we have to inquiry and then we will have a divine response. So what is the summary of this particular theme, of this particular slide? Even the greatest beings seek guidance. The true wisdom comes from connection with the divine. Now, such a huge project, okay, Chad Prabhuji has taken up. So many times he is drafting so many messages. I'm depending on you all. I'm depending upon Supreme Personality Godhead. Yeah. So that is what is the real example of taking shelter of Supreme Personality Godhead, Prabhuji's messages. Yeah. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Now, with that summary and the linkage between the previous slide and this slide, I am moving to the next slide. So, next slide, slide 4. What is it we are going to learn here? Let us understand. This is theme 5. What is the theme 5? The desire and sense gratification. So, let us understand. Let us understand this. So, what is this first theme is talking about? questioning material desires. Questioning material desires. Brahma's sons symbolize the quest for the knowledge and understanding the material pleasure are fleeting. So Brahma's sons are very clear. It's very, very temporary. So now focus shift to the core human problem. What is that core human problem? Desire and sense gratification problem. Yeah, that is the core human problem. The four Kumaras represents genuine spiritual seekers, just like all of us. They are not interested in temporary pleasure. They are not interested in material enjoyment. Instead of they question, how do we go beyond this sense gratification? Yeah. So this slide highlights that material pleasures are fleeting, very, very temporary. So this is a key realization. Sense enjoyment looks very attractive, feels temporary pleasure, but does not satisfy deeply. Prabhuji's Mataji's. So I am at the age of 50 now. I am at the age of 50. How much sense enjoyment I had? Okay. How much it looks attractive? Okay. How much pleasures I took? But does it give any satisfaction to me? We should question ourselves. We should question ourselves. We're at the age of 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay, this is the age there. In this group, at least, we should ask ourselves, does it give any satisfaction to all of us? Let us do a wonderful kirtan. Does it give a satisfaction? Let us sit and do a sincere japa, one mala, 10 minutes without thinking anything. Just listening all 108 Hare Krishna Maha mantras. How much satisfaction it is giving Prabhuji's Mataji's to all of us. Sitting quietly, understanding Prabhuji's PPT, how much satisfaction it is giving. And after reading, if you want to give a session, you make notes. How much satisfaction it is giving Prabhuji's Mataji's. How much satisfaction. We should inquire ourselves. Yeah, we should inquire ourselves. A person enjoying food, success, entertainment, but after some time, the satisfaction fades out. And again, desire will come again. And this is a cycle. This is a cycle. It's continuously coming. A desire for food, desire for success, and desire for entertainment. Comes and it goes. Comes, goes, comes and goes. Okay, that is what it is talking about. This is like a cycle. Now let's move to the next theme. Philosophical implications. Philosophical implications, the struggle against the sense gratification is a cornerstones of many spiritual traditions. This is very important for us to understand. Spiritual life begins when we recognize that I am not meant to be controlled by my senses. Spiritual life begins when we recognize that I am not meant to be controlled by the senses. So this particular slide is emphasizing, this particular theme is emphasizing that we need discipline, we need a higher purpose, we need spiritual direction. So sense gratification leads to what? So I am just stuck with sense gratification. What will happen? More and more sense gratification. It will lead to more attachment. We have one sense in attachment, gratification. It will lead to more attachment. And then more distraction. And then what it will lead to? More bondage, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Yes or no? While the spiritual discipline leads to clarity, control, and we become more free. Because we connected to Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Yeah. A person who controls the desires become more focused, more peaceful. But we should not be suppressing. We should not be suppressing. Okay. So once I control the desires, become more focused, become more peaceful. A person driven by desires become more restless, more dissatisfied. We don't need to compare with anybody else, Prabhuji's Mataji's. When the sadhana comes down, you see how your situation is. When the sadhana improves, how your situation is. We become more calm. We become more focused when the sadhana improves. And then we become very restless. And sense gratification will increase just like anything when sadhana goes low. We don't need to see anything, Prabhuji's Mataji's. A just self-introspection helps understand this particular philosophy. Yeah. So what is the conclusion here? The passage encapsulates the theme of divinity, human experience, and spiritual entitlement. Okay, enlightenment. So the entire section, okay, this 15 to 26 shows that the journey of a seeker, questioning a material life, seeking for higher truth. It's very important. Questioning the material life, seeking for a higher truth, moving towards spiritual understanding. That is very important. That is what is the first one is talking about. And what is the second one? Second one is talking about it invites a reader to contemplate their own journey and highlights the role of a divine guidance. Yeah. So this is where the teaching becomes personal. It is not just about Brahma or Kumaras. It is about to all of us. To Brahma and Kumaras, it is teaching to all of us. So this message is what we all face: desires, distraction, confuses. And we all need guidance and discipline and then divine connection. Yeah. So when a person reflects on a life, questions their habits, seek for a higher purpose. If we don't question any of our bad habits, how can we seek for a higher purpose, Prabhuji's Mataji's? Yeah. Yes or no? So key teachings from the slide. What is the key teaching? Okay, thus the slides brings everything together: a desire, questioning, discipline, and seeking for growth. So what is the final insight from this particular slide? True fulfillment comes. True fulfillment comes not from satisfying desire. True fulfillment comes not from satisfying our desires, but from understanding and transcending them. Yeah, so that is what it is. So what is that we covered till now? We covered three main slides. Slide 2. Slide 2 we covered Brahma's limitation. And slide 3 we covered seeking the guidance. He is taking the shelter from Supreme Person of the Godhead. And slide 4, questioning our desires. Yeah. So what is one line summary of this particular slide is real spiritual life begins. Real spiritual life begins when we question our desires and seek something for higher. Yeah. So that is what we understood from this particular slide. So let's move to the next slide. Slide 5. Slide 5. Okay, theme, first theme. So now we have seen the high level. Now we are going to see from the BPT text, purpose, yeah, and the nature of yoga and the quest for ultimate truth. So from the BPT purpose, we are going to understand these themes, yeah. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's Mataji's, is my voice is good, is the pace is good, is understanding of the themes, hope it is good, yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, wonderful. Everything.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, everything is good.
So,
Wonderful.
first theme 1, the inquiry of the sages. Yeah. So let us understand this, the inquiry of sages. So Uddhava asked Krishna about the instruction of yoga to the 4 Kumaras. So here the setting becomes very important. Yeah. This is not just a philosophy discussion. It is a dialogue between the advanced spiritual seekers. What is that 4 Kumaras asking? The 4 Kumaras are the sons of Lord Brahma, which they come from Brahma's mind, are highly elevated sages, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Do not underestimate it. They are very, very elevated sages and already detached from the material life. They said they don't want to marry. Yes or no? We have seen the previous slides. They are already detached from the material body. But what is it they are asking? How do you overcome the material distraction? This is the question they are asking. This shows that even advanced seekers still inquire how to perfect the spiritual life. Yeah, that is what they seek, okay, from these questions. Many times we hear a senior devotee ask, how do I control my mind better? How do I deepen my realization? Yeah, this is the same spirit of the Kumaras. Okay, I have seen many questions towards to Radhanand Maharaj asking his disciples, how do I control my mind better? How do I deepen my realization? These similar questions. Yeah. Yes or no? No. So in this particular, every theme is being divided into the context and the key element and the philosophical significance. So now we understood what is that Uddhava as the Krishna, and then what is that real serious seekers are looking after. Then I'm slowly moving to next theme, that is key element. The sages express concern about the distractions caused by the material sense objects. What is the core problem here? Prabhuji has clearly mentioned, Charu Prabhuji in his theme, the four sages expressed concern about the distractions caused by material sense objects. That is a concern. This is the core problem. This is a core problem for all of us as well, Prabhuji's Matajis. Even with the knowledge, the mind is still attracted to. We have the knowledge. Don't you think we don't have knowledge? We have the knowledge. But the mind is still attracted to sense objects. The mind is still attracted to desires. The mind will have distractions. Okay. The struggle is internal. The struggle is internal. Knowledge versus attraction. Knowledge versus attraction. Many times we become bound to attraction. Okay. So Kumaras are not asking what is truth. They are asking, how do we live with that truth? How do we live with that truth? Yeah. So let us understand a little more on the philosophical point of view. Okay. The inquiry lays the groundwork for understanding yoga as a transformative journey. We need to understand this sentence very clearly. I just uplifted. Okay. I'm just reading the same sentence what Char Prabhuji has quoted in this particular theme, philosophy. The inquiry lays the groundwork for understanding yoga as a transformative journey. It's a transformative journey. This is a key shift. Prabhuji's Mataji's yoga is not just a physical practice. It is not a posture beating or anything. Yoga is a process of working deep-rooted material attraction. So we took birth from hundreds, thousands, lakhs, millions of births. Okay, so now we started this Bhakti Yoga. It's a process of overcoming a deep-rooted material attraction. So my mind have a deep-rooted material attraction. It has to be removed. Yeah. Yeah. Overcoming. That Bhakti Yoga is to overcoming that deep-rooted material attraction. So from that, what we understood, a real yoga means for controlling a mind, detaching from sense objects, connecting with Supreme. How can I detach from sense objects? If I just detach from sense objects, do you think that is good enough? No, that will not solve the problem. Again, we'll get attached. So not to attach the sense objects for controlling mind, what you have to do? You have to connect this with the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So this inquiry defines yoga as a inner transformation, not just an external activity, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Yeah. So yoga is not just a sitting in meditation or just sitting and just doing some chanting. It is choosing for a higher truth over lower desires. Many times, most of the times, we are connected with our lower desires. Choosing for higher truth, that is what is Bhakti Yoga. Okay, that is what is the inquiry, that is the root of that inquiry of sages. Now let us move to the next theme, that is Brahma's contemplation. Brahma reflection deeply on the sage's inquiry, but feels confounded. Now we say a very important point, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Brahma is a creator of the universe. Yeah. Brahma is a highly knowledgeable, still feels that unable to answer questions fully. Why? Because the question is not simple, Prabhuji's Mataji's. It is about overcoming the mind and mental desire. Yeah. Yeah. So even a very experienced teacher may pause when asked, how do you completely transcend the desire? How do I completely transcend my desire? They will take a pause to answer this question because it requires a deeper realization. It requires a deeper realization. So even an exalted being can become confused when overwhelmed by material responsibilities. Yeah. When overwhelmed by material responsibilities. This is very powerful insight. Brahma situation shows that position is not equal to realization. Okay. Position doesn't give realization. Okay. Yeah. Responsibility itself that I am a creator may not give a clarity on the spirituality. 100% clarity I'm talking. when the mind engaged in creation, when the mind is engaged in management, when the mind is engaged in too much material responsibilities, okay, it becomes distracted. It becomes distracted. It becomes overwhelmed. So this leads to confusion even for at a higher levels. Okay. Yes or no? You all agree, disagree? Yeah. So we are understanding the highest spiritual subject, Prabhuji Mataji. It requires 100% direction from every one of you. You cannot afford to even to deviate a single minute. Yeah. Because this is the highest knowledge which we are discussing. That is Bhagavatam. Yeah. So let us understand little more from the philosophical significance from the Brahma's contemplation. So it underscores the importance of humility and divine guidance. So unless you are so humble that humility is required and you take the shelter of Supreme Person of the Godhead and look for the divine guidance, you will not understand this kind of subjects, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. This is a key takeaway. Yeah. What is that key takeaway? Humility and divine guidance for our gurus, for our Siksha gurus, for our Diksha gurus, for our Vaishnavas, for Vaishnava Parampara, and ultimately for divine couple. That is a key takeaway. That is what is Brahma is teaching for all of us, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Even the Brahma realized that I cannot answer this fully of my own. Brahma is realizing I cannot answer this fully of my own. So the teaching is true knowledge requires humility, surrender, and higher guidance. Yeah. Spiritual realization does not come from position or intelligence, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Brahma is the highest intelligent person in this planet, on these 14 planets. He is the highest position. Okay. So spiritual realization does not come from position or intelligence. It comes only from divine connection. Divine connection. Now we are going to read hundreds of sutras. Do you think it is possible for us to, first of all, to read and understand and to craft? It is all divine intervention is there, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Without that mercy, because all the devotees here, Vaishnavas, are sincerely seeking to have the understanding of those Vedanta Sutras. That is what it is going to manifest, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Otherwise, it is simply not possible. What is our level 4 years, 5 years back? Can you imagine for us to understand a Vedanta Sutra? I myself doesn't even know what is a Vedanta Sutra. And from where, what level we are reaching, Prabhuji's. It is just the mercy of Vaishnavas and devotees and Krishna and being shown so much of mercy. You go and tell to any congregation saying that you are going to study Vedanta Sutra, people will just see like you like this. What? You're reading Vedanta Sutra? Simply, it is not possible. It is just the mercy, so much of mercy, Prabhuji's. Yeah. Hope you all agree with me. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji,
Yes.
agree.
Yeah. So spiritual realization does not come from position or it comes only from divine connection. So what is the key teaching from this particular slide? This slide shows that inquiry and reflection and realization of our limitations. Okay. So what is the key message here? Spiritual life begins when a sincere questioning, okay, and deepens through humility. We should not be losing that connection with Krishna and we should not be losing that humility, Prabhuji's Mataji's. His Holiness Nathanath Maharaj always says that, okay, be humble, have that humility. Otherwise, you cannot understand this subject. You cannot even chant if you are not humble. Yeah. Dronadapi Sunechena. Yes or no, Mataji? Yeah. So what is a key one-line summary? What is the key takeaway from this slide? Even the greatest sages and the Brahma seek answers. True yoga begins with a sincere inquiry and humility. That is the key summary from this particular slide. Let's move to the next slide, slide 6. Hare Krishna. Now, what is this slide 6 is talking about? The form of Hamsa. Okay. From the BPT text point of view, we are going to understand. Okay. In a remembrance tone, in a remarkable tone, Krishna manifests as a Hamsa, a swan, to convey a profound wisdom to Brahma and sages, and to all of us as well. Now we reach a very important moment in the narrative. After Brahma's limitation, Brahma's sincere inquiry, the Supreme Lord appeared. The form is significant, which is Hamsa, which is what? Swan. This is not a random, it is a deeply symbolic Prabhuji's Mataji's. The Lord responds when inquiry becomes sincere. The Lord responds when we have an inquiry is very, very sincere. Okay. When a student is sincerely wants to learn, a teacher naturally appears. Okay. Yes or no? In the same way, when an inquiry is genuine, divine guidance manifests for all of us. Yeah. So the Hamsa symbolizes the ability to discern the truth, like a swan separating a milk from water. What is so unique feature of a swan, Prabhuji's Mataji's? It can separate milk from water. So this is a core symbolism. The swan represents discrimination, which is what? Viveka. Even last Friday also we discussed. Okay. Radha Vinod Prabhu said like the summary of this entire Friday's presentation is a discrimination. Yes or no? So the ability is to distinguish truth from illusion, separate spiritual from material. Real spiritual knowledge requires discriminant. That is Viveka. Not everything we see is a real or permanent, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So the seeker must learn what to accept, what to reject. That's very important. In life, we see many attractive things, Prabhuji's Mataji's. But a wise person asks, what is temporary, what is permanent? If I attach material things, I'll take birth again birth, birth again, birth again, birth. Take the birth, again, I die, again I'll take a birth, if I attach to the material things. So a wise person thinks, what is permanent, what is temporary? That is like a Hamsa like discrimination. Yeah. So let us understand the philosophical significance of the form of Hamsa. This highlights the importance of distinguish between the spiritual and material. Really. Yeah. We have to be very clear. So this is a deeper teaching. Spiritual life begins when we learn difference between body and soul. Temporary versus eternal. Illusion versus truth. So this particular theme emphasizes authentic knowledge transcend the superficial appearance. Yeah. So what does it mean? That means that truth is not what appears externally. Truth is what eternal and unchanging. Yeah. So that is what is this particular form of Hamsa is talking about Prabhuji's Mataji's. So wealth, status, beauty, everything is temporary. Understanding soul, understanding, practicing devotion, connecting to truth, that is eternal. Hamsa is teaching this. Okay. Choose eternal because it has the capability to separate water and milk and water. So that form is teaching all of us. So now move to next theme. What is the next theme? The nature of inquiry. Krishna challenges the sages to reflect on their understanding of identity and self. This is very important, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Let us spend a little more time very carefully on this particular theme. Krishna challenges the sages to reflect on their understanding of identity and the self. Now the teaching is becoming a little deeper. Let's hear very carefully. The Lord does not give immediate answers. Instead of, he challenges the sage's thinking. Why? Because real knowledge requires deep reflection. Yes or no? Charu Prabhuji also doesn't give answers straight away. He put a question, get an answer. Again he put a question, get an answer. Again he put a question, get an answer. Now he'll say, this is what I'm expecting. Why like that? So that because we are thinking, we will remember it forever. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah. A good teacher does not give answers. Ask questions and make us to think deeply. So what is the key element here? If all beings are seen as a uniform, then inquiry lacks depth. Yeah. Yeah. if all beings seen in uniform, we are not, we looks like uniform, but actually we are not uniform. That is what we are going to see. Just here a minute. Then inquiry lacks depth. So this is very subtle point. Let us understand this. If we think everything is same, then we miss really the real distinction, distinctions. So we must understand difference between the individual soul and Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's very important. All are not same, Prabhuji's Mataji's. Difference between the individual soul and Supreme Person of the Godhead. Without this, inquiry remains very, very shallow. Saying everyone is one, okay, may sound philosophical, but without understanding the relationship, it lacks the depth. So let us understand the philosophy. This encourages a deeper exploration of individuality and the unique nature of Supreme. This is the key and conclusion. Let's understand a little more. True spiritual inquiry means that understanding who I am Jiva, who is God, that is Krishna, and what is my relation with Krishna. Okay, so what is the key takeaway from this particular theme? Yeah, recognizing the unique nature, recognizing the unique nature of Supreme Person of the Godhead in contrast to individual souls. That is what is important. That is what is this particular theme is talking about. So this is very important. We are all spiritual, but we are not equal to Supreme. Please remember that. Yeah. A drop of water and a ocean is the same nature, but not same magnitude. Okay. Soul is spiritual, but God is supreme spiritual. Okay. So what is a key message? True knowledge requires both divine guidance and key discrimination. Okay. That is what is required. So what is one key takeaway, a summary? The Lord teaches us to think deeply, discriminate clearly, and understand the difference between the soul and supreme. That is a key takeaway from this particular slide, Prabhuji. Now let us move to the next slide, slide 8. Okay. So we got a gap. Now it is 8:1. Okay. We can take a pause if you have any questions or anything like that. Or if you want me to continue, we can continue. We can have the discussion at end. Anything is fine. Hare Krishna, you want break of 2 minutes? Hari Bol.
Continue, Prabhuji. I think that is better. Then we'll have some time for at the end.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can continue.
Continue? Okay, okay. Okay. So let us continue with the next slide, slide 8. Okay. Material, what is this? And the theme 5. Material designation versus a spiritual reality. This is very important. Let's understand. Let's understand this too. Krishna explains how material designations such as this mind and senses obscure the true self. How this mind and senses, okay, cover this true self. Now the teaching becomes very direct, Prabhuji's Mataji's. We have to give little more attention. The problem is not outside. Actually, it is how we identify ourselves. The problem is. So we think that most of the times when we go to the outside of the session, outside of the congregation, we think, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the desires. We don't even get the idea of like I am the soul. But the Krishna explains these are the material designations. These are material. I am vice president. I am director. I am so and so. Yeah, material designations. But actually, these are not our real identity. So what we need to understand is, okay, the Atma, the soul is eternal. I am the soul. I am the eternal. Actually, I am the soul. I am the pure. I am the beyond mind and senses. Actually speaking, we are stuck at our minds and desires, Prabhuji. But actually we are, because I am the soul, I am beyond this mind and senses. But due to the identification with this body and mind, we become covered by these material layers most of the times. Yes or no? Yeah. Just like we all wearing a different clothes, no? Clothes are we are changing the clothes as well from person to person, but the person remains same. Similarly, body and mind changes, but the soul remains constant. Yeah. So let us understand what is further key element is talking about. The mind's fixation on sense object binds individuals. The mind's fixation on sense objects. Most of the times, I'll just open YouTube for one session, but I will get some video. What I will do, I'll just click that short and I will watch it. What is happening? The mind fixation on the sense objects binds individuals. It is binding me because my mind fixation on those sense objects properties. This is the core mechanism of bondage. The process is the mind looks for senses, and then senses looks for objects, and then attachments goes. And then more and more attachment, more and more bondage. Yes or no? Agree, disagree? So the more we focus on sense enjoyment, the more we become entitled. We think that I ate one ice cream, that is good enough. I want to taste one more. And then again tomorrow also I want to test. And then because I had today and yesterday and today, I want to have tomorrow also. So our mind becomes entangled. So sense enjoyments, the more we become entangled. So liberation is defined as a freedom from the attachment. Yeah. So if a mind constantly thinks about enjoyment and comfort, what will happen? It will look for a more comforts. And you cannot give more comfort. It becomes restless. Yeah. But if it is trained, then it becomes more peaceful on the devotional path, on the spirituality. Then it becomes more spiritual, peaceful. Yes, sir. Let us understand philosophical significance of this material designation versus spiritual reality. This revelation compels individuals to awaken to their spiritual identity. This is a key transformation, Prabhuji's Mataji's. When we understand that I am not the mind, I am not this body, then naturally attachments reduces. At least in this session, when we are hearing that I am not this body, are you seeing something else? You're not seeing it. You're just listening. Yes or no? So attachments reduces. Clarity increases. At least in this session, it looks like the clarity came for life. Yeah. And what is the goal for the life? Yes or no? For this 1 hour. Yeah. Freedom begins. Yes or no? So it is just realizing we have to become practically realize that, okay, who we already are. We are already souls, but I am this body is a covering. Yes or no? Yeah. So when a person realizes that I am a soul, then the person stops chasing temporary pleasures and starts seeking for a spiritual fulfillment. Yeah. Okay. That is at a material designation at a versus spiritual reality. Then the sixth theme is very important. Me, I am a spiritual, I am a soul. Is that good enough? No, that is not good enough. Understanding the relationship with the divine is very important. Otherwise, you will fall back that thinking that I am the soul. So the next theme is very important. What is the theme is talking about here? Theme 6, understanding the relationship with divine. The the 4 sages realize that everything is an expression of Krishna's energy. Please listen this statement very carefully. The sages realize that everything in this universe is an expression of Krishna's energy. And he resides within all. I'm just repeating the same sentence what Prabhuji has drafted, because the same sentence is very important for us to understand. The sages realize that everything is an expression of Krishna's energy and that he resides within all. He resides within everything. Now the teaching expands that earlier I am the soul. Now everything is connected to the divine. I am connected to divine Krishna. This world is connected to divine Krishna. My son is connected. My wife is connected. My daughter is connected. My parents are connected. Everybody in this society are connected to the divine. This means the world is not separate from Krishna. It is his energy and his presence, and it is his expansion. It's just like a sunlight comes from sun, everything comes from Krishna. Yeah, that is what we understood from A, 6A. Now let us go to 6B. That is key element. Nothing exists outside of him. How beautifully Charu Prabhuji has drafted. Let us read this. Nothing exists outside of him, outside of Krishna. And understanding this unity is essential for realization. Prabhuji, I cannot stop reading it. I want to read it continuously again and again. Nothing exists outside of him. And understanding this unity is essential for realization. How beautifully it is drafted in one single line. This is a profound insight. When we see that everything is connected to divine, when we see that everything is connected, this house is given by Krishna to me so that I can serve him. I can understand Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, so I will reach Godhead. That's all. That is the purpose of this house. So I could see the connection of this house with Krishna. Yeah. Everything is connected to divine. Then the separation reduces. Ego reduces. And then I will have the ego. This land is purchased by me. This house is constructed by me. That ego will not be there, right? This house is given by Krishna. So to serve him. Yes, sir. And then unity develops. Yeah, whoever comes to this house, I will respect them. I will serve them. Yes, sir. So spiritual realization includes seeing God everywhere. Yeah. So a devotee sees nature is a God's energy, and every soul came from Krishna only. Yeah. So this creates a respect. This creates a respect on all the souls, and compassion and connection with the divine. Yeah. So let us understand the philosophical significance. This reinforces the interconnectedness of all beings with the divine Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, I just lifted the same sentence, I'm repeating the same. This reinforces the interconnectedness of all beings with the divine. This is a final expansion of understanding. Instead of duality, me and others, that is duality, me and others, we move towards to spiritual unity. Okay, but important is unity does not mean sameness. Unity doesn't mean that I am soul, my son is also soul. Doesn't mean the sameness. It means that relationship with the Supreme. I have a relationship with the Supreme, and my son and my daughter also have the relationship with Supreme. That is what it means. Like many rays, one sun, but many souls, one Supreme source. Yeah, many rays came from one sun, many souls, but came from one Supreme source, that is from Lord Krishna. Yeah. So what is that we understood? This slide gives us a two major religions for us. I am not the body. I am the soul. Everything is connected to divine. That is what we understood. Identity plus relationship. That is spiritualization. But most of the organization, I am the soul, soul, soul. That's it. There is no relationship. But in this philosophy, in this Vaishnava philosophy, identity plus relationship, both are required. That is spiritual realization. Yeah. So what is that connection from the previous slide? Previous slide is talking about inquiry and discrimination. And this slide is talking about identity clarified. And relationship is established with Krishna. That is what happened in slide 8 in one line summary. Yeah. Now let us move to slide 9. Hare Krishna. Hopefully everybody is with me. If anybody wants to stop at any moment, please feel free. But going at this speed, I think we have 14 slides. We should be able to complete by 8:25 or 8:30. And then we have a discussion. Yeah. So slide 9. So which is theme 7. Okay. And 8. So let us understand what is theme 7. Theme 7 is the process of realization. Okay. So again, I will repeat one sentence I lifted from the Prabhuji's theme only. Krishna explains that the true understanding arises from recognizing one's identity as part of Supreme. I will read it again. Krishna explains that the true understanding arises from recognizing one's identity as part of the Supreme. Now we come to the core spiritual realization. After inquiry, after discrimination, after understanding the soul, the next step is what? Realizing our relationship with Supreme. That is what more important, the process of realization. Realizing our relationship with Supreme Lord Krishna. So this slide highlights that this process is gradual and include self-reflection and study of sacred text and guidance from spiritual teacher. Okay, all these things helps us to realization is not instant. It develops through hearing, that is Shravana, reflection, that is Manana, and practice, that is Sadhana. Okay, like learning a skill. First we understand and then we practice and then it becomes natural for us. In the same way, spiritual realization is also grows step by step. But what all we have to follow? We have to do Shravanam, we have to do Mananam, that is reflection, and we have to do practice sadhana. Yes or no? And then spiritual realization grows step by step. Yeah. Now let us go for a key theme 7b. By dedicating oneself to devotional service, individuals can overcome material desires. This is very important theme for all of us, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. How do you overcome our material desires? It is been very clearly mentioned by Char Prabhuji that by dedicating oneself to devotional service, I am reading the same sentence. By dedicating oneself to the devotional service, individuals can overcome material desires. We all can overcome material desires. This is a turning point. Knowledge alone is not sufficient, Prabhuji, Mataji, for all of us. Krishna emphasized what? Devotional service. What do you mean by devotional service? Bhakti. That is essential. Bhakti purifies the mind. Bhakti redirects our desires. Bhakti redirects our desires. Bhakti dissolves our attachments. With only just knowledge, it will not happen. Yeah. Bhakti I will repeat again. Bhakti purifies our mind. Bhakti redirects our desires. Bhakti dissolves our attachments. Otherwise, it is not possible to remove our attachments, Prabhutis Matajas. Attachments have to dissolve. Desires have to redirect. Our minds has to purify. So, instead of suppressing our desires, we have to transform them through our devotion. That is very important. Let me repeat the sentence. Instead of suppressing our desires, we have to transform our desires through devotion. Yeah. So I will give an example. A person engaging in chanting, doing a service, okay, and devotion, a temple service or something like that, gradually loses attraction to material pleasures because he or she started getting a higher satisfaction through devotional service. Yeah. You have lower tendencies. Don't focus on lower tendencies. Focus on higher tendencies. Start practicing higher taste. And then slowly lower taste will go off. This is the secret. Yeah. So let's understand a little more on 7C. That is philosophical significance. Bhakti is indispensable for purifying the mind and achieving complete liberation from this material entanglement. Okay, this is central conclusion. The process of realization is not a dry knowledge. The process of realization is not a dry knowledge, Prabhuji, Mataji. And it is not a forced renunciation, but loving connection with the divine. Bhakti connects the soul to Krishna. It brings the clarity and leads for going back to Godhead. Yeah. A devotee who serves with sincerity becomes peaceful, becomes detached, becomes experienced with inner fulfillment. How many of you experienced this? A devotee, even we did a little service. A devotee who serves with sincerity becomes peaceful, becomes detached, experienced with inner fulfillment. How many times we heard from Charu Prabhuji that by preparing these slides, how much satisfaction he is getting? How much satisfaction he is getting? How much satisfaction we are getting by hearing these sessions, Prabhuji? That is good enough. That itself is an experience, Prabhuji's method. Yeah. Now let's move to the next theme, theme 8. That is illusionary of materiality. Illusion of materiality is very important, Prabhuji's Mataji, to understand this. What is that Maya? Krishna explains that simply renouncing the material pleasure without understanding the self is futile. It doesn't help. This is very important correction. Many people think that I will just give up everything, then I will become spiritual. No, it doesn't help. Krishna says that that alone is not enough. Why? What is the reason? Because without understanding the self, renunciation becomes very dry. Renunciation becomes very temporary. Renunciation becomes very unstable. Someone may give up certain habits, but without deeper understanding, they may reoccur again. Yes or no? Yes or no? So that is very important. So true transcend comes through conscious engagement in devotional activities. This is a solution. What is the solution? Let me read again. The true transcend comes through conscious engagement in devotional activities. Conscious engagement to the devotional activities. We have to consciously engage we ourselves for the devotional activities. Yeah, that is the only solution. Instead of forced abundance, okay, Krishna teaches engage the mind and senses in devotion. Yeah. So what is that we understand? Engagement is stronger than suppression. So never suppress anything. Do not close your eyes. Use your eyes to take the darshan. You don't need to stop talking. Okay, read the Shastras or explain the Shastra to someone else. Yeah. Engage all your senses for devotional service instead of suppression. So when the mind is engaged in Krishna, naturally automatically withdraws from lower desires. Okay. Yeah. A person who is busy in seva, a person who is busy in chanting, a person who is in devotional service or temple service has less time and interest for distractions. Yeah, yes or no? Got it? Now let us understand what is the 9C, which is a philosophical significance he's talking about. This challenge misconceptions about ascertain and promotes a balanced path. This is very important teaching, Prabhuji's Mataji. Spiritual life is not about extreme rejection. No. Reject. No, we are not talking that. Or indulgence. It is a balanced integration of knowledge, devotion, and discipline. Real renunciation is an internal detachment with active devotion. Let me repeat this sentence. Real renunciation is internal detachment with active devotion. Yeah. Using all our resources for Krishna in a simple nutshell. Yeah. Living in the world, but not attached to it. Acting with a purpose, but centered with Krishna. You have a purpose, but Krishna is in center. Okay. So we are having a conclusion for BPT purpose. Let us understand what is that conclusion. And then we move to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explanation. Okay. So what is conclusion? What is key teaching? Renunciation without understanding our true nature is futile. So knowledge must be guided with renunciation. Okay. So that is A talking about. What is B? B key insight is true transcend comes through devotional engagement. True transcend comes only through devotional engagement. Not by stopping activity, but by redirecting it. Okay. What is final message? See, spiritual life integrates devotion with discriminant. Spiritual life integrates devotion with discriminant. Many times we get. So this is the balance. First understanding and practice bhakti. Yeah. So what is final takeaway? So these slides give us a complete method. Realization happens when we understand the self, we engage in devotion, we transform our desires, we live with awareness. These are the 4 very important. Understand the self, engage in devotion, transform desires, transform our devices. Very important. And we live with awareness. What is one final line about this particular slide? Spiritual progress is not about rejecting the world. Once upon a time, I used to think I will go to Himalayas and do some spiritual practice. That thought process was completely wrong. Spiritual progress is not about rejecting the world. It is about transforming our consciousness through devotion. Transforming our consciousness through devotion. So with that, I am moving to next slide, slide 10. Okay. Hare Krishna. Here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentaries. I think maybe 4 more slides might be there. Prabhuji's Mataji's. Hopefully, I should be able to complete by 8:40 or so. Okay, slide 10. In this, VCT comments, let us see and understand that. Theme 1, the inquiry of sages. The inquiry of sages. So what is this context and characters? The inquiry of sages, let us understand. So Sri Uddhava engages Krishna in a deeper inquiry about the teachings of yoga given to the Kumaras. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur focuses slightly. Instead of just explaining the situation, he emphasizes on depth and inquiry. This is not a casual question. It is existential inquiry. So the sages are already detached. We all know that. And they are already very wise. Yes or no? Yet they are asking, why does the mind still get attracted to the sense object? This is the question they ask. This shows that spiritual is not just about knowledge, but about mastering the mind. Knowledge is but about mastering the mind. Even the serious practitioner may ask, why do you still feel attraction towards the attractions? Even the very senior devotees ask this question. Why do you still or feel attraction towards that attraction? That is exactly the sage's question is. Yes or no? Yeah. The sages recognize that the natural tendencies towards the material gratification hinder liberation. This is the key VCT insight, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur insight. The problem is not ignorance alone. The problem is deep-rooted tendencies. What is that? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling is the problem is deep-rooted tendencies for all of us. Even when we know that what is right, the mind still moves towards pleasure. The mind still moves for comfort. The mind still moves for accumulation. So the struggle is internal and it is continuous. A person knows that this is not good for me, but still feels that pull towards it. This is the conditioning mind problems. You understood what I'm saying? Yeah, what VCT is telling all of us, teachings he is giving all of us. The limit of Brahma's understanding. What is that we are understanding? Brahma's role. Despite his exalted position, Brahma struggles the deeper nonsenses of yoga and the self-atman. Here VCT goes deeper than BPT here. Okay, his role itself creates a limitation. You know, what is the most important? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling his role. What is his role? He's a creator, no? That role itself is creating the limitation. Brahma engaged in creation. Brahma has so much of responsibility. But Brahma engaged in so much of activity. This engagement, his engagement keeps the mind externally focused. Externally focused. Yeah. So that is the challenge. Okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is highlighting. Now let us understand B. Okay. Even the higher authorities can be limited by their roles and commitments. This is very powerful VCT teaching. Let us understand what it is. Spiritual limitations does not come from lack of intelligence. Spiritual limitations doesn't come from lack of limitations. It comes because of identification with role. Prabhuji's Mataji's. I'll give you some examples. When a person, he was a very spiritual person, he did a lot of service, that person made a president of some temple. You know what happens? The person may start falling. May not happen always, but it happens sometimes. Because the person is identifying with a particular role. Yeah. So Brahma identified with I am the creator. And that identity becomes a limitation. So Vishnupada Chakravarti Thakur clarifies that true understanding requires transcending all designations. I am a designation in my office. Who has given that designation to you? Company has given. But who arranged that designation for you? Krishna has given the designation for you for a short period of time so that I will serve my team. That is the state we should be. That is what he is telling Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He is telling, I am a professional, I am a leader or a parent. But these identification can limit a deeper realization. Okay, but these identifiers can limit a deeper realization that I am an Atma. Yeah. So what is the key teachings from this particular slide? These slides highlights two profound insights. What is? Inquire must go deeper than knowledge. What is second one? Even the great position can become obstacles. Sometimes a great positions also can become obstacles. If you remain attached to the roles and identities. Yeah. Yes, sir. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur understanding are little more deeper than BPT. So what is one line summary of this particular slide? True spiritual understanding requires going beyond both mental tendencies and external identities. So till now we are seeing only the mental tendencies is being we are seeing. And external identities also is the being which is being added by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So true spiritual understanding requires going beyond the mental tendencies and external identities. Okay. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur deepens teachings. Problem is not just ignorance. Problem is conditioning plus identifying. I am the owner of this house. I am the owner of this family. I am the owner of this colony. I am the vice president in so and so company. Yeah. So they are very subtle Prabhuji's Matajis. Those I am connecting those designations are very, very subtle. I am the preacher here. I am the here who been taught this particular. No, these people are started doing 16 manas japa. That is very subtle. We have to be very careful. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that particular thing. So I'm moving to next slide. I think I have only two more slides. Okay. Slide 11 and 12. Okay. Yeah. Slide 11 and 12. Only two more slides are there. Just give me 10 minutes, Prabhuji's Mataji. I'm sorry. I'm taking a little more time. I'm extremely sorry for that. Okay. Here the theme 3. The Supreme Lord revelation. What is this is talking about? Okay. Let us understand this. In a stunning revelation, Krishna appears as a Hamsa. Okay. To whom? To Brahma. Okay. I just lifted the same sentence what Prabhuji has drafted. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur highlights that something deeper than just appearance. This is not just God appearing. This is a divine intervention in response to the sincere inquiry. The Lord appears specifically as a Hamsa, swan. Why that particular form? Because it represents a perfect discrimination. It seems Hamsa avatar is a perfect discrimination. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur emphasized that the Lord comes not just to give the answers, but to reveal a deeper truth about reality. So Lord comes not just to give the answers, but to reveal the deeper truth about the reality. Yeah. What are the examples? When a student is truly ready, the teacher appears in a right form. In the same way, Krishna appears as a Hamsa to teach the spiritual truth for all of us. Okay, I'm going to the next theme, that is symbolizing of swan. So we read this. The swan symbolizes a divine discrimination, the ability to separate milk and water. That is Viveka, discrimination. That we have seen it before also. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur adds the theme. This is not a intellectual discrimination. It is a realized spiritual vision. That is what is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is talking about here. Okay, so let us move to the next theme, that is theme 4. Yeah, that is nature of identity. And let us understand from Vishwanath Chakravarti perspective. A question of identity. Okay, that is the first theme here. The sage inquiry into the Krishna's identity leading to a deeper philosophical discussion. I just lifted the same. The sages inquire into the Krishna's identity leading to a deeper philosophical discussion. What does it mean? Now the inquiry becomes even deeper. It is no longer about senses, It is no longer about mind. It is about identity. The core question becomes, who am I? Who is God? The slide highlights that the distinctions between Jivatma, that is individual soul, and Paramatma, that is supreme soul. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur emphasizes here that without understanding this distinction, spiritual inquiry remains incomplete. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, similarly, the soul is spiritual, God is supreme. That is what further clarity it is coming. Now, the theme B, unity and distinction. Krishna challenges the assumptions about the unity and individuality. This is very important for Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur insights. Many think that all is one, no difference. But Krishna challenged this. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains that true understanding requires both unity, same spiritual nature, but distinction, difference, identity, and role. As a spiritual, my role is different. Your role might be different. Yes or no? So unity, the same spiritual nature, but distinction, difference, identity, and role. If we ignore this distinction, inquiry becomes shallow and incomplete. Yeah. So that is what is Hamsa Avatara is teaching all of us. Everyone is the same, but many sounds may sound philosophical, but real understanding is we all connected. We all connected, but we are not identical. Prabhuji's Mataji's. That is what is very important. These slides give a two powerful Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur insights. One is divine revelation. Divine revelation brings discrimination. That is one. Second one is identity must be understood with correctly. Identity must understood correctly. We must understand I am Jiva and Krishna is Paramatma. And Jiva is completely dependent upon Paramatma. The soul is completely dependent upon super soul. Yeah. So let us have one line summary of this particular slide and then we move on. True realization comes when we understand both our unity with a distinction from Supreme. Yeah. So understanding that I am distinct from Supreme, I am dependent on Krishna. So that is very important. Okay. So let's move to the last slide, slide 12. Okay. Slide 12. What is theme 5? Oh, we have one more slide also. Okay. Slide 12. Theme 5. Material bodies and elements. Material composition. Krishna explains that the material bodies are composed of 5 gross elements. So this one, most of us, we know this. Okay. We can go a little quickly. So Krishna explains that the material bodies are composed of 5 gross elements, which are Panchamuha Bhuta. Okay. That how these material bodies are being formed. That is being talked about here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's team. Okay. So what is the philosophical implications? This leads to critique of materialistic view that the prioritize the physical wealth and comfort. Because this body is very temporary. This will go at any point of time. Yes or no? And it is very temporary. That is what is this material body and elements is talking about. So let's move to the next theme. That is theme 6, the relationship between mind and sense objects. So Krishna explains the mutual attraction between the mind and sense objects. Now we come to the core mechanism of bondage. What is the core mechanism of bondage? This mind and sense objects. Mind always attracts sense objects. The mind seek objects. Objects attract mind. This creates a continuous loop. Okay. This attraction is a natural but binding. Yes or no? So mind seeks something attractive, thinks about it, desires it, pursues it, and loop continues. Both mind and sense objects are covering over the spiritual essence. That is very important. Because of this mind and mind objects, the spiritual essence being covered. The problem is identification with them, with that I am mind, I am this body. Okay, covering. Okay, that soul is getting covered. So but soul is pure, soul is free, but because covered by mental activity and sensory attractions. Yeah. So what is key teachings from this particular slide? Okay. What is key teachings for us? The body is material, mind is attracted, but both cover the soul. Real freedom comes only when we're raising beyond this material. Yeah, that is key theme from this. Let's move to last slide, slide 30. Okay. The process of realization is very important. What is this process of realization? Understanding Krishna's nature empowers ones who surpass the limitations of the mind and senses. So now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur brings the teaching to the highest point. Earlier we saw body is material, mind creates attachment, senses create distraction. Now the solution is what? Understanding Krishna's transcendental nature is the only solution. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur emphasizes that when we understand that who is Krishna is, we understand who we are, we know that the mind lift us beyond the mind. So this knowledge, whatever we have, no, lift us beyond the mind, beyond the senses, beyond material identity. Yeah. So that is what is this particular thing is talking about. Yeah. The next. What is role of devotion? Devotion plays a vital role. Devotion to the Krishna is a transformative force, not just an escape for us. Yeah. And that from the previous themes also we talked about this particular role of devotion. Now I'm going to the last theme, that is challenge of detachment. Difficulty in renunciation. The passage acknowledges the difficulty of renunciation, attachment of the mind and senses. The passage acknowledges the difficulty of renouncing attachment to the mind and senses. This is very realistic and relatable. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur does not ignore the struggle. He acknowledges detachment is difficult. It is not easy. But because our habits are deep, our desires are very, very strong, our conditioning very, very long term, because hundreds of thousands of lakhs of janmas we are like this. So this creates internal conflict between knowledge and behavior. So a person knows that I should not do this, but still feels do it because of that strong attraction. So what is it we should do? The path of jnani is very important. The jnani who combines the knowledge with devotion. Devotion alone is not enough. Prabhuji Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying. So you should combine the knowledge with devotion, experiences, and we will have the spiritual growth very, very quickly. This is the only solution. So the real path is jnana plus bhakti. When the knowledge is combined with devotion, okay, the spiritual progress will be very, very fast. Yeah. A person who studies the philosophical only may struggle, but who studies the practical devotion plus knowledge experiences the transformation very, very quickly. That is the overall conclusion, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So I will stop the presentation here. Okay. Presentation here. Yeah, that is the conclusion. Sorry, Prabhuji's Mataji, I have taken a little more time, more 10 minutes. I'm sorry for that, but it is a very deep subject. Wonderful slides. Okay. So the more and more you study, the more and more realization we'll have. And then more and more clarity we'll get on this particular life. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Good job, Prabhuji. Very good
Thank you.
job.
Your slides are so much depth, Prabhu. It's not easy.
Yeah,
The themes
you
are very,
devotees,
very
you devotees bring life to my PowerPoints. You know.
has lot of depth, lot of depth.
And
Hare
any
Krishna,
open for
Prabhuji.
discussion? Open for discussion now.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very amazing discussion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. So wonderful
Krishna.
class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. प्रभुजी ये मुझे एक ही श्लोक याद आ रहा था बार बार, वो सर्व उपाधि विनिर्मुक्तम तत्परत्पन्न निर्मलम ऋषिकेश जीवनम भक्ति रुच्यते। जैसे जैसे हमें ये नॉलेज और ज्ञान बहुत ही जरूरी है। जैसे नॉलेज आएगा तो हमारी भक्ति भी बढ़ेगी, भक्ति बढ़ेगी नॉलेज बढ़ेगा, दोनों साइड बाय साइड। वेरी नाइस प्रभुजी।
Yes.
Any other
Prabhuji.
points?
Yeah. So it's so nice, very compact, and I think again and again we are seeing the same mind-body complex and senses. There how many times, but different perspective brought. One thing is very understandable how Hamsa, right? Everything is symbolic. Lord doesn't do just like that. Bring something and give some knowledge. Imparting some knowledge. So how symbolic it is. How Lord is so careful when he presents himself in one form. and gives the knowledge. So everything is symbolic of that. Very nice, how it is the mind and senses. Again, how essentially the sense objects and the mind entangles into that, and the whole cycle begins of conditioning. But how to get out of that with a knowledge, understand only higher reality, understand futility of death. It's again the same theory, same philosophy is resonated many times, Prabhuji. So many times we hear the same thing again and again. But more emphasis here, we see that essence is how to look at that. You mentioned very nicely, mind and mental and external, right? Both are required. One is internal and look at external, another external identities. How it is differentiated or distinguished between these two. You articulate very nicely, and it's a good lesson for. I think we have to read a few times the slides with each word and its a meaning. Thank you. You did very nice job, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Sir Prabhuji. Good slide. Sometimes the slides are uh, more gives more purposeful when philosophy is there. But sometimes slides distract. That's my reading. When there is some story goes on, storyline goes there, it becomes little. But here, each word have a in-depth meaning. Very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any other
Hare Krishna.
questions?
Prabhuji,
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna, Bhai.
again, yes, Mataji, please carry on.
Why these four Kumars are called mental sons of Brahma? Mental sons.
Any answers? Good
Into
question.
Born from
Hare
mind.
Krishna.
They were
Thank you. Good
mind from
question.
the mind. They were
que-
born from the mind.
question very don't
Prabhuji,
answer.
Prabhuji, may I try? मैं दे
Yeah,
सकती
yeah, yeah.
हूँ?
Please, please.
हाँ प्रभु, माता जी इसलिए उनके मेंटल सन है क्योंकि वो टाइम पे जब भी भगवान ब्रह्मा जी ने क्रिएशन शुरू किया था तब वो अपने मन से भी हो सकता था बच्चे.
Yeah, they were born from mind.
He created
Yes, sir.
woman. He created woman.
फिर
When
उन्होंने ये देखा
first Swayambhu
Yes.
Manu.
स्वयंभू
From
मनु ने
Swayambhu
चित्तपा.
Manu and Shatrupa, then he created, right?
Yes, प्रभु.
From his own body. But up to that time, when Kumaras are created, Lord Shiva was created, there was
Even
no
the
woman
9
like that.
rishi, Narada and all are the mental son
All
of the
mental sons, all 10 sons,
Yes.
mental sons.
Yes.
Okay,
So
thank
you
you,
can
Mata.
imagine Brahmaji's position, how
Hmm.
exalted position he is in,
Yes.
सर्वोच्च उपाधि प्रभु जी, सर्वोच्च उपाधि, that is
But
position.
Radha Vinod Prabhuji, a wonderful thing is that we have seen how body-mind complex occupies in our material existence, but that's the very cause of it, right? But the
Yes.
same body-mind complex can be utilized to solve the issue.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I
Prabhuji
give
in
the
the
example
Veda
about that.
Stuti.
Yeah.
In Veda Stuti, we learned that मन, बुद्धि, इंद्रिय and प्राण उनको use करना है बस. It is very
But it is to be utilized by the
yes,
bhakti process. You need all these things, and then you
yes,
solve
Prabhu.
the problem. So one stone that is stuck in our soul, the foot soul, another stone can be utilized to get it out of it. Poison kills poison.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, this Hamsa Gita is a very important, text to come above sense gratification. How to
Yes.
come about sense gratification, like how Mana Shiksha was very important to train the mind. This is
Yeah.
also very important to rise above
You're absolutely
sense
right.
gratification. Very nice class, Prasad Prabhuji. You're so humble. You do it with a very danya bhava. So nice. Dhanva pranam, Prabhu.
I don't have any qualification, Mataji. It's just elaborating Prabhuji's PPTs.
Well,
Absolutely agree.
it's nothing is mine actually. It's all our Acharya's deep thinking, analysis. That's what I put it in my PowerPoints. Absolutely nothing is mine.
We
Uh,
are so fortunate, Prabhuji. We are so fortunate that we learned so much deep knowledge and we
Thank
can
you.
apply in our life. It is more important.
Yeah, because you
Thank you,
are all
Prasad.
there. That's why I'm inspired to do all these things, If I were alone, I don't think I could have done that.
Wonderful
Sharat
slides.
Very
Prabhuji,
true.
Wonderful slides. Wonderful
Sharat
slides.
Prabhuji, thank you. Sharat Prabhuji, your chance. Oh, where is he?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. What we spoke, Prasad Prabhuji, he is actually not well. He is having a fever, but still then he is taking class and such nice classes. He has explained all the major things which are contained in the slides. Actually, there is much more than what is contained in the slides. One should read the Srimad Bhagavatam text and the purports. But the essence is given in these slides. Thank you very much, Prasad Prabhuji. You have done it so nicely.
Thank you for the opportunity, Prabhu. I
Thank you,
know I'm
Prasad
not at all
Prabhuji.
perfect.
Wonderful,
I
wonderful
absolutely know.
session.
Okay.
Wonderful session.
I'll, I'll,
Lance just
I'll take about 5 minutes to explain about my journey to Udupi. That is
Your
in
place.
Karnataka only, and I am at Bangalore at present. It is about 425 kilometers from Bangalore, and the nearest airport is Mangalore. We went there, and from there we went to Udupi by road. By road, it takes about 1.5 hours. Now the Mangal Aarti and Abhishek, it starts 5 o'clock in the morning. So we had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and get ready and started our journey at 3:30 and had a nice darshan of the Lord. Now I'll talk about that special place. Now, this Udupi is famous for Udupi Krishna or Sri Krishna of Udupi, and that it was established by Madhvacharya in the 13th century. But that idol, that is the Murti, that was constructed in Dwapar Yuga, rather at the end of Dwapar Yuga. That story I'll tell you and how it is managed. Now, all these stories they are given in a book known as Prameya Navamalika Tika by a 17th century saint known as Raghubharya Tirtha, who was successor of Madhavacharya. Now, what happened when Krishna was there in Dwapara during Krishna's earthly pastimes? Mother Devaki expressed her deep longing to see, to witness the Lord's childhood exploits in Vrindavana. And as you know, she could not see them because Krishna, went from Mathura to Vrindavan, and at Acha, and then all the things happened in Dwarka. Now, moved by pure devotion, the Supreme Lord instantly assumed the form of a small child and playfully went in the lap of Devaki. And subsequently, when Devaki Mata attempted to churn butter, Krishna behaved like a mischievous child, broke the churning rod, consumed chunks of butter, smeared butter all over his body, and even seized the churning rod and the rope from Devaki's hands. And these delightful childhood pastimes of Lord, they filled Devaki Mata with immeasurable joy. Now, when this was happening, Rukmini
the principal queen of Krishna, she was observing all that from a distance. Then she had a desire, if I could have an idol of Krishna and I can worship him. Then Lord Krishna, he was pleased. He ordered the demigod sculptor to construct it from a stone, and it was constructed, and Rukmini the Mata, she worshipped it. But what happened over a period of time, as you know, at the end, what happened, the whole of Dwarka was submerged in the water, and that idol that got lost. Then what happened in the 13th century, one businessman, he was moving by sea only in his ship, and he had problems with his ship. That is, the weather was very bad and it was about to be sunk. And at that time, Madhavacharya, who was there in Udupi, he saw that ship from a distance, and he just waved his upper cloth, and with that, that storm was stalled, and the ship was saved. And with this, the owner of the ship, he understood that it was because of Madhavacharya's mercy that he got saved. Then he requested him what he could present him. Now he was actually bringing chunks of Gopi Chandan in that ship. And now he gave a chunk of that Gopi Chandan to Madhavacharya. And now when Madhavacharya's disciples, they were bringing that chunk, they were trying to bring that chunk, it broke. And inside that, this idol was there. And with his transcendental eyes, Madhavacharya knew that this is the same one which was created by Vishwakarma, and this was being worshipped by Rukmini Devi. And even 30 of the 30 disciples of Madhavacharya could not lift that idol. Now Madhavacharya himself then came and single-handedly he lifted the idol, and later on it was established. And now that is what is established in Udupi. Now what happened in the 16th century, there was a devotee known as Kanakadas, or some people also say his name was Kankadas. He came to have darshan of the Lord, but since he was from a lower caste, he was not allowed. Then he sat on the backside of the temple, that was on the west of the temple. The Lord was facing east at that time. Now, after a few days, the Lord was so much pleased with him that he turned toward the west. Even today, we can watch the Lord from the west only, not from the east. Now, from that time, there is a system there. One can see the Lord from a window which has got 9 parts. And from that only you can see, nobody is allowed to enter into the temple. And from the morning, they start this Mangal Aarti, the Aarti, then thereafter Abhishek, and it carries on throughout the day. And there is a very small little place only from where you can see. But if you go there early in the morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning, then you can have a good darshan, and darshan many times, one after the other. Not very many people are there. And there the Lord, with his left hand, he is holding a churning stick, and with the right hand, he is holding a rope. And that is what is about the Supreme Lord, and there is a Gosala also there, and a free prasadam is served in the afternoon to anybody and everybody who goes there. And it is a very, very nice place. If you ever get a chance, you should try to go. But please reach there by about 5 o'clock in the morning. That time there is no rush, and there you can have a good darshan of the Lord. That's all, Prabhuji.
Did they allow you to take the pictures of the deity?
No, actually nobody was taking a picture, but the pictures are there in the
Yeah.
internet.
If you could share with, if you have that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, it is said that they club with Avabilopuram with this place, right? So, is it close by that? You said it's close to Mangalore?
Yeah, it is close to Mangalore, about 60 kilometers. It takes about
From
1.5 hours. It is
Okay.
connected by National Highway 66.
Okay. Nice information.
It is on the road to Mangalore to Goa,
Okay.
on that road.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for sharing
Yeah.
that information.
Prabhuji, Radhavinath Prabhuji, even Vithalnatha has turned his face towards
Yes.
Eknathi or which devotee,
No,
Prabhuji?
that is another story. That is a
Yes.
different story. Maybe sometime I'll talk about that. That is
Yes.
Namdev, Fardhan Namdev.
हाँ,
Sadhguru.
नामदेव जी.
It is a similar story.
Correct. Yeah.
हाँ, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very nice.
So I think we can conclude the class now.
Prabhu, which city you mentioned, Prabhu, this temple is?
Bangalore.
Mangalore.
Mangalore.
Is connected by the road, air, and train also.
Okay. Name of the temple, Prabhu?
It is Udupi Sri Krishna.
Udupi Sri Krishna. Okay. Thank you.
It's on the sea, ocean, right, Prabhuji? That's what you mentioned. Ocean?
Yeah. Sea coast is just nearby 2-3
Yeah,
kilometers.
I just saw other day on the YouTube, the airport, Mangalore airport.
Yes.
The runway, just behind the runway, the 200 feet deep the cavern is there. So it's very difficult to land huge jet planes.
Yes, it is on the
There was
top of
one
the hill
accident
only.
actually. Once there was an accident, the pilot
Right.
was too tired and he could not stop the plane, and the plane went down there.
Yeah, couple of 5-6 years back, there was an accident. Yes, some years back.
Yes.
I saw it in the YouTube, that story. So that runway is very, very short.
Yes.
Thank you. So thank you, Prabhuji. So let's say anybody volunteering to do Narasimha prayer?
Prabhuji, may I do?
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladaladaini. Praladaladaini. Hiranyakashi Uvaksha. Hiranyakashi Uvaksha. शीलटङ्कानकालये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा माही नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा माही नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गम् दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण
Thank you.
प्रभु जी थैंक यू सो मच
Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. So we meet next week now. Hari Bol. I wish every one of you a nice, blissful week ahead. Hari Bol.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Dandat
Thank you.
pranam to all devotees.
Wonderful.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful knowledge. Yes.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, take rest, okay?
Oh, thank
Prabhuji?
you. Great. Yes, Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
Thank you. Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice and effective lesson.
Great.
You speak through the heart to the end. So,
Thank you, Prabhu.
thank you. Have a